All right, so we first scraped the list page of books for Books to Scrape, and we looked at how to scrape multiple pages using the navigation. Now let's try with the details page of Books to Scrape, which I actually haven't done yet, so we'll be doing this more or less together. Let's go to bookstoscrape.com. Let's pick a different version than Light in the Attic. I'm tired of that. Let's go to Sapiens, A Brief History. And so now we have a details page. And usually what details pages have is, surprise, more details about items in the list. And for us, that's going to be particularly this product description, which is a summary of the book. And then we have some information down here and products recently viewed. So let's see what Dataminr can give us on this details page. So we'll need to make a new recipe for the details page. So let's go to make our own recipe. The type is going to be a details page. And so as you'll see, it's only going to have one row, right? We don't have different element chunks like in a list. We just have one row, and that's going to be the information for this particular book. So we don't need to select the rows like we did before, selecting the big chunk that would be repetitive across the page. We only need to get the columns. And so the way to think about a details page is that you're building a recipe for this one book, but you know that most of the other books are going to have the exact same details page. So what information do you want to have as a template that you can apply to all the books later on? Meaning, we're building a recipe for this specific book, but we can use it on all the other details pages of other books. So what's actually the information that we want for each book in the details page? I mean, that's going to be things like the title, the price, the description, and probably some of this product information. So let's just start with the title. We'll use the Easy Column Finder, select C, and we got it. Easy. And let's try price. Probably also going to be easy. Got the price. And so again, I'm going to assume, because it was so easy to grab those, that if I took this recipe and I put it on a different book, it would also give me the title and the price. So we could do stock, let's just do it. Availability, Easy Column Finder, in stock, 20 available. And we can also get the dreaded star rating. Again, I haven't done this, so let's see what happens. Nope. So it's not working with the column finder. Let's see if we can go with the advanced finder. And in this case, we hit Shift. And it's our same issue from before. So we know that we need the star rating and the value. And then we can also bring up the code here. And we know it's in an attribute called class. So we have to change this to attribute. And the attribute name is class. And then we have our star rating 5. So again, that one's a tough one. Description. Here's one we haven't had before. Now, interesting, we see that there's more here. This may be the same issue we had with our title, where there was ... not the full thing. So let me go and inspect this code to see if there's more information in the code that is not showing up on the website. So same process as before, we're just going to move down until we get to what we want. Here we are. So no, we do not seem to have any more information. This is all we can get. So in that case, I'm going to move this up and go to add a new column called description. Easy column finder. Again, I need to click back onto the data miner. Here it's giving me all sorts of things. It's giving me the price, the availability, P, which is a bunch of P tags. But I can see that from a renowned historian, that's the item that I want. Confirm, just to check that data miner picked it up. Now let's look at product information. This is in a table. And so we may want to get this UPC number. And you see it's grabbed a bunch of stuff. It's grabbed everything in the table. We'll see that. We want the first item. Got it. Check. Got it. And is there anything else that we couldn't get from the list page? Product type. These are probably all going to be books, but maybe there's, I don't know, encyclopedias versus short books, long books. Who knows? We may want to keep that as well. So let's add a column called product type. Easy column finder. And we'll grab books. Great. Number of reviews, it's going to be the same process. Got it. So in this case, because we already knew the issue with star rating, this was about as good as you can hope it goes with a details page, or any scrape for that matter. There's not really any other information that we might want, except maybe for the book image itself. So let's check this out. Let's get the book image, which again, we can't actually download the image, but we could get, let's see, let's look at the code and see what we could get here. It's usually going to be a hyperlink or the actual, like a link to the image or the actual link image. And so this is a bit hard to read here. I'm going to try to pull it out. That here, because it ends in .jpg, we can actually get the link to the image. It is in an attribute called src within a tag called img. So I kind of know what the basic structure of the code is that I can work with, and I see that there's also the title of the book in an attribute called alt. So let's see. You'll see that they have image URL here as an option, and we may need to use that. But let's try just first with text. You'll see no, it did not grab it. So let's go to image URL. And we'll see that yes, Dataminr found that. Because when we click image URL, it's going to be looking in the code for things that end in .jpg, .png, different file extensions for images. So we have that, and we can see what it looks like. It is the link to the book, which is the same one that we'll see here. So now we've had text, other attribute, and image URL. And we can see that there are others. For example, if you want to pull out hyperlinks from the website, we would use URL. If it ends in .com, .eu, something like that, and if it ends in .html, we would click this one. So sometimes you do need to do a little bit of trying to change these, because if you try to look for text and it's a link, then it's not going to work. You're going to have to click URL or image URL. But we got that, and that's what all the data we want for this site. So we can call this books details page. Save it. And then we can scrape it in Dataminr. So we've got our books details. And now what we can do is we can start to interactively build a spreadsheet by going to all the different details pages. So we could click on a book, use this recipe to scrape it, click on another book, and then do scrape and append, which is going to take the data from one book and put it as a new row on our spreadsheet. And so that's how we can kind of go back and forth with the website to harvest the data we want without copy and pasting everything into a spreadsheet. So let's do that. We'll go to Books to Scrape, and we'll start with our Sapiens: A Brief History, and we'll say scrape. And now we've got it. We could go to A Light in the Attic, and now we've added that details to the spreadsheet. And we could go to The Coming Woman and scrape. Right, so we've built one recipe for the details page, and now we can go with the web page and click on what we want, and then click scrape and append. I'm trying to find one that's not such a provocative title. Shakespeare Sonnets, that's pretty neutral. Scrape, got it. Download. CSV file, could be an Excel file if you have Excel. I've downloaded it, and now I have my 4 pages. So this is really good if you don't want to just build a data set of all the books, because then you'll have to go through and kind of filter out the ones you don't want. If you're interested in, let's say, just books with a 5-star rating, or just books that have the top 100 or something, you could go through, and this would be much faster than copy and pasting all the information in. Now, what we'll talk about later on in the course is how you build a details page and a list page, and then you would pull everything from the list and then automatically scrape all the details pages. So not going back and forth and manually appending, but automatically appending. And again, that requires an upgrade in the plan, but I'll show you how to build the template, and then you can decide if you need to have that larger scale automation. Of course, that's a sort of higher level service, and Dataminr is going to charge for that. So, but for now, I mean, we've got the details page, pretty easy. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to some real websites and essentially just practice a little bit, pulling lists, pulling details, creating recipes for them, and scraping them. But I mean, we have basically covered the nuts and bolts of scraping. Everything now is, for the most part, just working through different types of recipes to get the information that you want. So take a little bit of a break, and we'll come back and look at some examples in the real world.